we find that wherever there is joy, there is creation.
This peace proposal comes not from, as I said, any country or any organization, but from a human being who has thought deeply about this subject. Therefore, whether one agrees or disagrees with Dr. Ikeda's diagnosis and prescriptions, the very fact that he does this kind of exercise every 2 years or 3 years, maybe every year, I'm not sure, is itself commendable. I think these proposals or these ideas need to be taken seriously and they need to be discussed.
And I was struck in this peace proposal by the references, first of all, to the importance of language and words, because we all know how valuable words are. We're using a lot of them this evening. But they can be extremely valuable for the process of dialogue, and yet they can also be sometimes a substitute for real feeling. And I think it's something that in the movement, in the Soka Gakkai movement, there has been a great deal of consciousness of the need for spiritual development of the person, not just intellectual development, the need for an emotional connection as part of dialogue. So the words you use become an instrument for expressing your heart, your emotion, but not something that masks emotion. And there's something that I certainly, having spent so much of my lifetime using words, both professionally at the United Nations and creatively, I hope, through my writing, I found I can still learn. And I was struck that a Buddhist leader in Japan seems to be inspired by a French philosopher, just as our own Mahatma Gandhi forged so many of his ideas through a diligent reading of the Bible, correspondence with Tolstoy and Ruskin in Russia and England, and yet was so uniquely Indian in his approach. And I think it's valuable for us to reflect on these different sources of inspiration coming to the same centrality of the heart and the human spirit.
I feel the notion of world of dignity for all rests primarily on the shoulders of women, the prime creative source and primary caregivers in society, who know that the fruits of their labor will not be seen during their lifetimes, yet they continue because they know that while they may not achieve the progress they seek for themselves, they are paving the way to a better life for their daughters and granddaughters and for their sons and grandsons too.
Instead, we are in the position where, sadly, we are, in a sense, participating in something of which Gandhiji and others, Gandhiji's reactions and Nehru's reaction when the bomb was dropped in Hiroshima are still worth reading today. And I must say that I applaud Dr. Ikeda's emphasis on the need to work towards a world free of nuclear weapons, not just a world of nuclear non-proliferation, but a world of nuclear disarmament.
My efforts are out of compassion, conviction, and conscience, and follow Daisaku Ikeda, president of Soka Gakkai International, who believes that a great revolution of character in just a single individual will help achieve a change in the destiny of humankind. We all must commit to work in partnership with those who share the aspirations for a new global society of peace and coexistence.
Let us all recognize there's been many, many a dark night in the world of which we are all residents and citizens. But let us remember too that we can, each of us, work towards the kind of dawn where the peace proposal of Dr. Ikeda and the discussions that we had this evening can actually mean something real for all of us.
Our grateful thanks to all our friends at IGNCA and fellow members of BSG for their great support and behind-the-scenes efforts to ensure the great success of the program today. Our focus on education through peace seminars and public information exhibitions arises from Buddhism's emphasis on inner transformation. Where can we find the royal road to reformation and change? Emerson declared, quote, "Not he is great who can alter matter, but he who can alter my state of mind, unquote. He strongly urged us to undergo an inner reformation. An inner revolution is the most fundamental and at the same time the ultimate revolution for engendering change in all things. Members of the Bharat Soka Gakkai are determined to continue working in solidarity and partnership with those who share our aspirations for a new global society of peace and coexistence. Thank you once again.